For millennia, China's values were based on Confucian ethics until extreme leftism rejected them. Then the market economy rewarded individual initiative. What values are shaping today's China? What about religion? China's new leader, Xi Jinping, speaks of the Chinese dream. What do the Chinese people believe? China, the largest population on Earth, the greatest transformation in history. Yet, change causes problems. This year, China has new leaders. Here are the challenges they face. China's challenges. I'm Robert Lawrence Kuhn. In 2006, an old woman fell, fracturing a bone. A young man called Peng Yu helped her up and sent her to the hospital. Later, the old woman claimed that Peng Yu was the one who had injured her and sued him for damages. The court found Peng Yu liable, ordering him to pay 46,000 RMB. In 2011, after several similar cases of apparent helpers being sued, the shocking Xiao Yuyue event occurred. A 2-year-old girl, Yue, was run over by 2 cars, one after the other. For 7 minutes, 18 passers-by ignored her. Finally, a garbage woman picked her up, but the child died. The Chinese people were outraged. China is an ancient civilization with a long tradition of respecting the aged and caring for children. These incidents triggered national debate. Soon after taking office as China's senior-most leader, Xi Jinping described the Chinese dream as achieving the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation. Party General Secretary Xi stated that we are closer to the goal, and we are more confident than at any time in history of our ability to achieve the goal of revitalizing the nation. When I'm with Chinese friends, they appreciate China's remarkable transformation. But they worry. What do we believe in today, they ask themselves. What is our code of ethics? What values should we promote? These challenges are what China's new leaders face. For over 2 millennia, China's values were exemplified by Confucian ethics. But when extreme leftism replaced Confucianism as the nation's guiding philosophy, especially during the chaotic and ruinous Cultural Revolution, China's traditional teachings of humanism and piety were rejected and renounced. Then came the market economy, rewarding individual initiative, so that, to many Chinese, collectivism values seemed no longer relevant. Where then values, I wonder? Yang Sheng was an investor and businessman, and like many Chinese, his life was busy making money. But after losing several million RMB, he suffered declining health.
也不是有句话说得好吗？年轻的时候用生命换钱，换财富。 老的时候用财富去换身体。那我如果说老的时候没有身体了，我还不如不要这个钱，这样不行的。
When Yang Sheng was rethinking his life, the Xiao Yueyue incident in Guangdong took place. That's when he realized that life can be so fragile and unpredictable. So Yang Sheng decided to commit himself to a larger cause. He became a philanthropist.
当你帮助别人的时候，别人所传达给你的那种发自内心的那种感恩啊，或者是高兴的笑容啊，看到你的眼睛里面的，那么反映到你的内心里面，你会有一种从未有过的幸福感油然而生。这种感觉不是说你赚多少钱能够得得到的。
Yang Sheng didn't join any existing charity. Instead, on his own, he sought families in need of financial assistance. Today, he is helping Wang Kaiyo, a migrant worker, by setting up a fund for his children's education. Wang is in his 50s with a son and a daughter, and due to a job-related injury, he earns little money. His 10-year-old daughter has excellent grades, but he worries that he will not be able to send her to college. Yang will pay 700 RMB per year into the account, and when Wang's daughter turns 18, she'll have 10,000 RMB as her college fund.
生活在大城市里面的困难家庭，并不是不勤奋，是因为本身的工作能力有限，他们每年工作时间很长，8个小时到12个小时，然后养孩子、租房子。我为什么比很多人更知道那个困难家庭的困难之处呢？是因为我们家里以前就是非常困难的人，也没有人帮我们。我现在每个月帮助困难家庭的支出在3000到5000块钱，然后以后会逐步增加，因为我现在马上要做2个兼职，这个收入我会全部用来去帮助困难家庭，以后每个月会增加1个助养的家庭。
This is Wa'an community, packed with migrant workers. In the past 2 years, the population here has soared to over 100,000. Migrant workers' children attend the Hongfang kindergarten. Today, Yang Sheng is here to pay the 300 RMB tuition fee for a little girl. Our mother passed away, and our father works on a construction site. Yang's goal is to help 10,000 kids of disadvantaged families.
实际上，我去帮助他们，可能是一点点很小的，这是昨天的吧？但是对他们来说，他们在这个社会上感到什么？感受到了关怀，感受到了爱，感受到了还是有人去关心他们的，他们不至于过得很惨。
不知道是怎么认识我们人，可能好像是通过他就是说，走街串访的话，然后就说知道我们这有个幼儿园，然后跑到幼儿园来看，好像是问进来的。他是，之前他在门口来问的时候，我们就怕是传销或者是怎么样的，直接把他拒在门外。我之前如果像这样的好人的话，我觉得。
Miss Deng's initial skepticism toward Yang reflects the fact that altruism is no longer very common, much less a priority in Chinese society. Yang Sheng wants to change this. He wants to make altruism a value again. And he turns to a historic figure named Leifeng as his role model.
把雷锋那种毫不利己、专门利人的精神用在现在这个社会，就是，自己努力去赚钱，然后把这个赚的钱去帮助困难家庭，就是说，这就是雷锋的毫不利己、专门利人的一种新形式下的体现。
Who is Leifeng? Why is he so revered that children learn his sayings? A young soldier in the People's Liberation Army, Leifeng was born poor, orphaned, joined the Communist Party, and died in 1962, age 21. Because of his selfless service to the country, the party, and his fellow soldiers, after his death, Leifeng was immortalized by Chinese leaders as the personification of altruism. His diary was presented to the Chinese public as a guideline to the noble ideas of morality and values, ideas that were supposed to epitomize the Communist Party. In the socialist planned economy, all Chinese people were divided into three groups: workers, farmers, soldiers. Incomes and living standards were even and stable. Everyone was equal, equally poor, of course, but equal nonetheless. Urban families lived on less than $500 per year. Yet in less than 4 decades, China's transformation is historic and astonishing. Hundreds of millions have become well off, and many have become rich. In China's new economy, is altruism still of value? Perhaps we can answer this question by asking how the Chinese people view Leifeng today.
What's your Leifeng?
Leifeng.
In Shanghai, if you walk the chic areas, you find nostalgic memorabilia from Chairman Mao's generation. Leifeng paintings are hot sellers.
为什么所有的人，外国人、中国人喜欢雷锋？
喜欢雷锋，因为雷锋就是那个年代50、60年代那个人们心中的英雄，就是毛主席。毛，你在前面毛，前面毛，为他题词了，向雷锋同志学习。
It's March 5th, 2012. Learn from Leifeng Day is bustling. Doctors examine citizens for free. Barbers cut seniors' hair gratis. Children visit old age homes. Yet there are questions. This is people.com.cn, the largest news website run by the government. Here, netizens speak out on the Leifeng spirit. Some say that altruism is impractical in a market economy. Some surmise that Leifeng himself is an embellishment. I am fascinated by Leifeng, so I go see my old friend, Minister Ye Xiaowen, Vice President of the Central Institute of Socialism. How do you view the Leifeng phenomena in the present day?
把雷锋提出来作为重新学习榜样是必要的。为什么要提出来？因为市场经济就是让每个人欲望在不断的膨胀，每个人都去靠赚钱，慢慢的别人他也不管了，道德约束也不要了，至于人活着的意义更不会去想了，终极关键也没有了。西方是一度成功的解决了这个问题，就靠新教能力和资本主义精神，靠上帝。上帝他有个敬畏的力量，妙就妙在这里。上帝可以让你下地狱的，可以让你天堂的，要最后对你审判。那么中国呢？现在雷锋的这个形象呢，他有他的短缺，他没有敬畏的力量。你剥削雷锋又怎么样呢？雷锋也不会打你，雷锋也不会逼着你下地狱，雷锋只是一个道德楷模。但是有一点共性，是今天要把雷锋推出来的道理，就是雷锋他回答了最基本的问题：我们是谁？我们从哪里来？我们到哪里去？他回答了人需要道德约束。
So is there really any deep difference between believing in Leifeng or in Confucius or Buddha? Actually, to many Chinese, religious belief itself is rather vague. For example, Yang Sheng is ambivalent as to whether his altruism has anything to do with a religious code.
我是不信宗教的，但是它里面有些好的东西我会照做，它这个无我利他我就照做，然后我信雷锋精神，他这种毫不利己、专门利人的这种精神是永恒不灭的。你得到这种意识，并且你去履行了，那么你就是在行菩萨道。
Yet I can't help sense that there is something new about religion in China, because religion is attracting more people, and I'd like to know why. Traditionally, the Chinese people have valued Confucian philosophy, which stresses moral integrity and human relations. Thus, religious thinking has focused more on common features of different religions than on their contrasting dogmas. As long as a belief advises people to do good and to be compassionate, it doesn't much matter which religion one chooses. China has never been ruled by religious power. And although China has had frequent and bloody wars, none were religious. I speak again with Minister Ye Xiaowen, former director of the State Administration of Religious Affairs.
外国人始终不了解中国的传统文化，说那么多你也看不懂。其实你记住一个字就行了：和。礼之用，和为贵，先王之道，斯为美。最美就是这个和。所以呢，一定要在中国的宗教里面找一个哪个是主要的，哪一个是被排斥的。哎呀，我觉得这是从西方的角度来看中国。中国不管是从传统文化、从现实需要，都不是这个角度。
How is such religious harmony supposed to work? I'm told to walk this street in Shanghai. Here is Pudong Mosque, a place of worship for Muslims. Only 50 meters away is a Taoist temple. According to official figures, there are 100 million religious believers in China. But I'm sure that number is way too low. The chairman of the Taoism Association, Master Ji, explains why numbering believers in China is difficult.
Currently in China, about how many people are part of the Taoist religion?
道教的信徒跟佛教信徒不是很能够完全统计，因为在中国这个信仰这个佛道教，它的这个不像信仰基督教，它有要受洗要登记。 所以佛道教的信徒很难统计。那么在上海来说，我们现在是有16万多信徒。
That seems like a very small number.
这个在中国其实有宗教信仰，或者说有一种宗教心理的，我可以讲，大部分的人都有这种宗教心理，或者更明确的讲有宗教信仰。毕竟我们主流形态是这个无神论嘛，所以信仰宗教对你来讲。 也不会给你工作上会带来太多的帮助，所以我们在统计这个信仰宗教人数的时候，这个数字很不准确。我个人感觉，这个中国信仰宗教的人数，应该讲是这个数字还是比较庞大的，在未来的话呢，应该讲还会有更多的发展。
Although freedom of religion as a basic right has been included in China's constitution since 1982, there are claims of religious tensions and problems. Chinese law regulates religion, such that Protestantism, for example, can conduct its mission only at religious venues sanctioned by the state. To me, a Westerner, such law restricts religious freedom. But Priest Jin of the Pudong Hongyan Protestant Church has a different take.
我觉得我们的国家它制定一些法规，制定一些政策，它是根据我们国情来的。因为我自己作为一个传道人，我清楚的知道，我们如果要去敲开非信徒的门，一个一个去来做一个访谈，别人会很反感我们的。可能因为这个反感，使得我们更无法传福音，更无法把上帝的话传出去。
One can't complain about the number of religious venues. In China today, there are about 140,000 places of worship for Buddhism, Taoism, Islam, Protestantism, and Catholicism. Protestantism leads with about 56,000 churches. Taoism is China's only indigenous religion, but it's been the smallest of the country's 5 major religions. However, in recent years, with increasing confidence in Chinese culture, Taoism is growing. Chen Yaoting was Director of Religious Affairs at the Shanghai Academy of Social Sciences. He was also Taoist Master Ji's first mentor. Chen explains the Chinese way of thinking.
中国人就是非常务实的一个民族。我们中国人这个务实的民族，实际上是是因为中国很早就进入了农业社会，最早进入这块农业社会的土地上生活的人，他既相信天，又相信人。我们中国有一句老话：“天上是掉不下馅儿饼的。”再好的风调雨顺，你还得要靠自己人去努力去耕种，是吧？然后才有好的收成。所以中国人是很务实的一个民族，中国人很求现世的利益，很求现世的利益，希望能够现世活得逍遥，是吧？不像有的宗教那样，就是这世就算了吧，就来世怎么样。
The Chinese people may be drawn to religions for reasons that differ from those of other peoples. In addition to religion's pragmatic character, the product of China's ancient agricultural civilization, many Chinese also believe that the highest moral standards are set by living saints instead of by gods of any kind.
这个在中华文化上下5000年的历史中，恐怕主要的不是一个宗教的体系，应该说，更多的在中国是受儒家学说的影响。它过去中国几千年是个宗法的传统社会，于是呢，他要求这个要敬天法祖祭鬼神，维护他的传统。皇帝就是天子，他代表神。然后孔夫子呢，进一步要求呢，敬鬼神而远之。这一套人文主义的学说呢，使中国就形成这样一个。当然，后来的佛教传进来，中国原来的道教、儒释道相通，他们更多的呢是一种人文主义的情怀，而更多的不是一种宗教的东西。
Compared with religion in other civilizations, religion in China has been less dominant because of its unique characteristics, such as the nature of the belief system. My friend Zhang Weiwei is professor of international relations in Geneva, and his take on Chinese religious belief is more outspoken.
Our religious tradition is, in a way, if I have to use a politically incorrect word, is secular. It's rather inclusive. You can't imagine a Chinese can be simultaneously a Buddhist, a Taoist, a Confucianist, or a different stage of life. So we're not very serious believers. Religions do not challenge the state or political affairs.
It may surprise those from outside China to see diverse religions on the rise here. An even bigger surprise may be the rise of the role of women. Mao Zedong said famously, "Women hold up half the sky." In today's China, Chinese women can and do rise to the top. What does this mean for Chinese society? Lu Mingming was born in Beijing in the 1950s. During the Cultural Revolution, at the call of the country leaders, she went down to the countryside to learn agriculture and military affairs. Even today, she looks at the old photos to recall her poor but happy youth. For 30 years, China had a socialist planned economy. Collectivism was deeply rooted in the soul of the people, and it was a great honor to serve the country. When Mingming is with her friends, they talk about that time.
从小的理想就是当兵，觉得如果能当兵为国保家乡，就觉得一个特别就是很大的理想，很光荣的事情。结果真是我的梦想成真，我真是当兵，我当了8年兵，在海军。完了。
Feng Yuan is an entrepreneur who owns her own chemical plant. Growing up during the early days of communism, it never occurred to her not to have a career.
我觉得还是经济基础决定上层建筑。就是比如说像他们那个时代，我的爸爸妈妈的收入是非常差不多的，就是都是那样的，谁比谁高一级，可能也就多个10块8块的。对。但是你一定要双职工都去工作，才能养活得了这个家。你像我们家有3个孩子，就是你一定要2个人都工作才可以。所以我认为爸爸妈妈就是男人女人都工作是天经地义的。
During the chaotic Cultural Revolution, Lu Mingming spent a decade in a remote rural village. When she returned to Beijing, she worked in government and private companies. In 1989, when she was 39, she quit her job to study in Germany.
那时候我到德国，人都说你啊，最常问我问题就是说，你肯定不愿意回去了吧？愿意在我们这儿待着了吧？是吧？后来我觉得简直对我是一种侮辱，他们就觉得好像在就想待着。恨得好些女孩子过去以后，我们那行呢，就他们觉得你来抢我们的德国老公来了，有些女的就觉得来了这个竞争对象了。可是现在整个世界就变了，你看我现在回来吧，我觉得特别自豪，特别高兴。你这个国家发展这么快，给你的空间发展的空间是这样的，那国家发展这样给你空间是这样发展，你想想，它就不一样。
Today, she is the CEO of the largest German paper machinery company's Asia-Pacific region, the boss of 3,000 employees, including 50 German engineers. Her success is not unique. China has the highest percentage of career women in the world. Nearly 70% of Chinese women have careers. Dr. Jean Lee, a Singaporean citizen of Chinese origin, is a professor at the China-Europe International Business School. When she was surprised to find many female executives, she wanted to find out what made Chinese women so powerful. So she wrote the book, CEO in Business. According to Dr. Lee, Chinese women born in the 1950s and 60s, the first years of the People's Republic of China, were reshaped by a new sense of self-awareness and self-respect, making them tough and independent. While later generations of Chinese women received better educations and enjoyed far more freedoms, the tough and independent character remained. No one understands the changing role of women in China better than my friend, Yusai Khan. Yusai immigrated to America when she was 16, and when she returned to China in the late 1980s, she became a media personality, cosmetics entrepreneur, and social activist.
You see in China a lot of women are entrepreneurs. And one of the most amazing statistics is of the 20 richest women in the world, 11 are from the mainland.
When I started doing my company, I I did it in 1992. I looked around, there was not a single women entrepreneurs with their own companies around. Today, I have friends, women friends, who own things that you cannot even believe. They own a quarry of marble. They will build huge buildings, you know, like hotels. Even when I first came to China some 30 years ago, I find that because Chinese women were financially contributing members of the family, they are pretty powerful in that sense.
But women do not have to prove their worth by seeking a job. They can choose to fight for their careers or to enjoy staying at home. But as women become truly equal to men, how will this change Chinese society? How will this change the Chinese family? Now, what about sex? If the new role of women is changing society and family, the new openness to sex and sexuality is accelerating that change. In the early period of communist rule, sex was repressed and sexuality was hidden. That's why, some years ago, I was surprised to see People's Daily, the mouthpiece of the Communist Party, publish an article on the top 10 sex stories of the year. Today in the Chinese media, sex and sexuality is pervasive and controversial. How has the Chinese attitude toward sex changed? How much control should the government have over the sex lives of its citizens, whether online or in real life? Where to draw the line between individual freedom and social sensibilities? It seems a moving target. Young women in China today enjoy a plethora of choices. Yet only 100 years ago, women had to win men's favor by wearing tiny shoes. These golden lotus shoes are now rare. Some are exhibited at the Chinese Ancient Sex Culture Museum. The founder of this private museum is Liu Dalin, former director of sociology at Shanghai University. In the early 1990s, People magazine in the U.S. named him as someone who will lead Chinese into a happy society.
我们第一个馆在上海公开开放的南京路。可是我碰到一个大问题，南京路这个很保守。南京路当时的南京路管理办公室不让我们挂招牌，他你信博物馆这信字不好，这个字不能出现在中华第一街上。
In 2003, the Sex Culture Museum moved to Tongli in Jiangsu Province, where it features more than 4,000 ancient Chinese sex objects, including sculptures, adult toys, and paintings. Every day, many young people visit the museum. Even at age 80, Liu wants to make his museum world-class. His mission is to alter Chinese people's perception of sex.
首先，过去很多人认为中国人有很丰富悠久的文化，但是性方面是很保守落后的，这不对的。中国人有丰富悠久的文化。也包括丰富悠久的性文化，不过被这个几百年、近千年来表面上淹没了而已。挖掘出来以后，它是惊动世界的。第二种文化，性绝不是可以，说是可以做不可以说的，不是下流的、难为情的，而是正正当当的。我们应该用一种正常的、自然的、科学态度来对待它。这两个是最重要的观念，这两个根本问题不解决，你还是把性看得不能说的、虚虚达达的，啊，那永远很多问题都解决不了。
I hear about Li Yinhe, the first female sociologist in China specializing in sexology. Li Inhe is in her 60s, but her ideas are youthful and vigorous, as piercing as they are pioneering, and I have to meet her. Single-handedly, she seems determined to change the Chinese people's attitudes about sex.
And you look like a very nice, very normal, very rational intellectual. So how come some people think you're the prophet of God and some people the emissary of the devil?
我觉得这就是因为这个性这个东西，在中国正处于一种焦灼状态吧，处于一种激烈的论争的，而且是社会变迁的焦点，在这个问题上。你比如说，像婚前守贞这个问题，几千年了。中国人都非常非常强调这个，就是说，如果你要是不赞成，或者你反对婚前守贞的话，那别人就会觉得你是一个魔鬼。就是说，这个，比如70%的人都已经不能婚前守贞了。这个时候，如果说我不要说别的，我仅仅把这个数字报道出来的话，我就已经成了魔鬼了。我记得有一次，我就写了一条微博，我说，今年准备再找一位代表去提交同性婚姻提案，然后有一个网友在跟帖的时候就说的，如果中国杀人不犯法的话，我真想一刀捅死你。
Confusion about sex permeates Chinese society, and the government can seem lost when trying to regulate it. In mid-2012, China's National Museum celebrated its centennial by exhibiting Renaissance masterpieces, including David, the famous sculpture by Michelangelo. However, in a news broadcast on CCTV, David's genitals were covered up with mosaic effects. Netizens instantly uploaded widespread criticism. In the CCTV rebroadcast 3 hours later, the mosaic was removed.
政府在管理，但怎么管理是另外回事。我觉得标准很难确定。你比如说扫黄打非，你怎么叫黄？你这个一个电影出现了一点裸露镜头，算不算黄？啊，这个一本书小说有了一点性描写，是不是可以？这种标准呢，我觉得政府现在并不是很清楚。但这有一个摸索过程吧。
我觉得应该是有一个普遍的标准的，因为都是人嘛，是吧？这个我觉得现在中国的问题就是，中国的成年人被当作青少年这样来防范的。你比如说我们的淫秽品法，对吧？这个我看到国外也有一些，就是比如说网上这个他也要防止这个青少年去接触这个淫秽品，但是在中国呢。是所有的人，全都包括成年人，都是不允许的。
Dr. Li's sex data may surprise foreigners, although premarital sex is now common in China. For decades after the revolution, it was a social embarrassment and deemed to be evil. Until 1995, premarital sex was even illegal. According to a regulation called the Hooligan Law. Until 1997, homosexuality was a crime and labeled a disease. Today, over 90% believe homosexuals should have equal rights. Divorce in the 1970s was 2%. Now it's 20%. But Dr. Li says the real number is even higher.
怎样来到这个世界的呢？下面听王老师给大家介绍。
Attitudes about sex have come such a long way that educators in Beijing and Shanghai have developed sex education courses and textbooks.
他的名字叫金子，他生活在爸爸的身体，是人体中最小的细胞，脑袋大大的，身后拖着一条长尾巴，和小蝌蚪有点像，在妈妈的母体中进行孕育，分化出了小宝
Ding Limin, the headmaster of a primary school, developed a sex education textbook.
这个话题确实在我们中国文化的背景下，它一直也是一个讳莫如深的话题。我们中国人很羞于谈论这个方面。面对孩子呢，我们更多的家长会认为他大了自然会知道。那么其实呢，我们会觉得就是现在孩子们获取这方面的信息很多。
Headmaster Ding is not satisfied. China's sex education books lag behind those used in Hong Kong or Taiwan. According to the Chinese Medical Association, Chinese girls typically begin to enter puberty when they are just 9 years old, much earlier than the 12.5 years old that was common 30 years ago.
其实现在这个情况是不容乐观的。在那个就是我们411医院有一个少女的这个怀孕门诊，每一年的情况其实是更加令人担忧。这个数字是在不断的提升。
Teachers across China now realize the importance of sex education. Whenever this Shanghai primary school gives a public lesson, hundreds of teachers from around China come to observe. Sex education, like sexual mores, is a matter for the whole of society. No sector alone, not the schools, not the government, not the media, can go it alone. Just as sex is challenging Chinese society in one way, the growth of charities is challenging it in another. Under state central planning, charities had no place. After all, if everything belongs to the people and everything is done for the people, what need for charity? But with reform, all manner of social problems have surfaced. Poverty, sickness, children without parents, the elderly without care. Non-governmental organizations are becoming more influential. But in today's China, charities have an invidious problem. A specific charity scandal in 2011 involving the Chinese Red Cross severely damaged public trust in charities. Gourmet May Baby, that was the 20-something young thing who flashed her wealth online, mansions, sport cars, designer clothes. And oh, by the way, she was apparently working for the Red Cross. The impact was staggering. All charities, especially state-run charities, came under suspicion. Gourmet May Baby was the sudden catalyst, but the public had been wary of charities for years. So new organizations are trying new methods of doing charitable work. Shiluwei is a special charity in Zhejiang province. Shiluwei's founder was president of an internet company that sells to consumers, and after becoming wealthy, he wanted to donate to the needy. But he wasn't satisfied with existing charitable organizations, all of which lacked full transparency. So he developed an internet donation platform with radical transparency. Shiluwei's Secretary General Fang Lu explains.
那捐助模式是 C2C 点对点的这个捐助模式，那受助人和捐助人同时会在施乐会上拥有自己专属的施乐会账号。捐助人可以通过施乐会账号给这个受助人捐款，那受助人呢在获得捐款之后，可以把这个捐款提取到自己的银行卡中。
How do you donate money to people who live far away and who may not have access to computers? Shilloway recruits volunteers around the country to distribute donations collected online. But they just don't distribute them. They also document every step along the way. For example, a volunteer must give the donation in the presence of 5 witnesses from the neighborhood.
现场的捐助给他1200块钱，这个钱你要作为一个证人，就是说你要帮他点一下你点一下，
我点一下
对你是证明人，你必须要帮他见证过这个钱是不是拿到手的。
The volunteers later upload documents and photos onto the website, with all expenses like travel itemized. In this way, Shilloway makes the donation system totally transparent, ensuring that every penny is traceable and therefore winning donors' trust.
07年总捐款额是16万多，08年是46万多，09年是60万，10年是271万，11年是918万，12年我预计是2000万以上。
To guard against those who would pretend to be in need or volunteers who get kickbacks, Shilloway's office staff verifies if the case uploaded is true. For every case, they make about 6 phone calls to confirm.
马修玉垫付了多少钱？你没想？1500块钱。1500块钱是吧？对。当时您是在现场的对吧？当时我在现场。照片里也是有拍进去的是吗？对，有。好的。
But even with these controls in place, some remain suspicious. In 2012, a netizen claimed that the organization had been embezzling donations. Shilloway responded instantly and posted their auditor's report online.
说实话，心里面当时，心里蛮凉的。我们平时这么辛苦做了这么多事情，到头来反而被人家质疑。但是后来想想，这其实也是正常的。公众对慈善的不信任感源于之前几年这个慈善界的几个丑闻吧。然后呢，大家对慈善的信任度越来越低，宁可自己跑几千公里，亲手把一点善款送到学生的手里，也不愿意把钱交给第三方的机构。那在这个时候，我们非常非常需要有一个全公开、全透明的这么一个机构，能够去帮助这些捐款者，帮助他们把善款送到受助人的手中。那我相信施乐会可以做到这一点。那我相信，同时我也相信，不管再有怎么样大的质疑声，施乐会都会一如既往的走下去。
Yet suspicion is to be expected. There are so many cases of dishonesty in Chinese society, it will take time to regain trust. Hu Jing is a lawyer. In the last 10 years, he has handled many business disputes, and they all boil down to one issue: honesty.
纠纷的90%以上的原因是基于诚信出了问题。所以在诉讼过程当中，你只要摊开一看，就会感觉总有一方或者双方诚信出问题。这个诚信出问题，往往第一，在签订合同的时候就设陷阱，该告诉的没告诉。差的充好的，等等等等，或者说一旦引起纠纷了，在诉讼过程当中，诉讼不诚信，诚实信用是相当重要的。假设说一个社会人，你不讲诚实、不讲信用的话，就乱套。
China's new leaders are seeking a new framework with which to organize the values and beliefs of the Chinese people. When Party Chief Xi Jinping, on his first domestic tour, visited Shenzhen, the birthplace of reform in Guangdong Province, He was there to talk about economic reform. But the way he conducted his visit said more about a new attitude toward shaping values. It was a low-key, frugal trip with little pomp and no extravagance. No red carpets and modest meals. Xi Jinping led by principle as well as by example. He urged the Chinese people to rediscover their great tradition of being diligent and thrifty. His admonishment followed in the wake of a report that revealed the massive amount of food wasted in daily Chinese life.
有数据统计显示，每年中国人在餐桌上浪费的粮食的价值高达2000亿元，最少倒掉了2亿人一年的食物或者是口粮。这些庞大的数字的确让我们惊讶。
The news spurred people to action. A campaign called Clean Plates was launched, encouraging citizens to prepare smaller portions and eat everything on their plates. Millions participated in the campaign by uploading photos of their finished meals to China's social media sites. But no matter how many people come together and work on matters such as food wastage, there is only so much they can do, because problems emanate from the top.
不知道双流线教育系统所和拉菲的年份，但一出手就是3瓶，确实令人惊叹。这样粗略算下来，双流线教育系统的这次会议，就餐一项费用就高达2万多元，还不包括3瓶拉菲的价钱。
But Xi Jinping is trying to change all this aggressively and rapidly. Since he took office and set new standards, there has been a sharp decline in government banquets. The public is appreciative, but they will be watching the results. I am fascinated by the way the Chinese people perceive their society. Opinions always seem split. On the immensely popular Chinese microblogs, Weibo, people lament social issues and criticize China's policies. But when I speak with intellectuals, business people, and officials, I generally find more confidence and hope.
I always say we need to have a historical perspective. Virtually all major powers, in their rise to major power status, industrialization, and prosperity, experience some kind of moral decay. China going through this stage. But on the other hand, I still think, having traveled to over 100 countries, the basic moral fabric of the Chinese society remains strong. Don't lose hope on that. Family-oriented, cohesive, people are very peaceful, people are industrious. So these moral elements still keep the society together, which help China tide over many of these difficulties experienced in China's overall change.
Attitudes towards China's values remain complex. It is a long work, still in progress. In 2011, a 31-foot bronze statue of Confucius, the ancient Chinese sage who taught traditional values and who was repudiated during the Cultural Revolution, was set up in front of the National Museum, just beside Tiananmen Square in central Beijing. 4 months later, the statue disappeared. Everyone is talking about a China dream, explained Secretary Xi Jinping. He expressed confidence that the country will realize its goal of building a moderately prosperous society by 2020. A strong China, a civilized China, a harmonious China, a beautiful China. It is a grand vision to open a new era, a modernized, urbanized, culturally rich China, providing high standards of living for all citizens and contributing to global peace and prosperity. A China whose people have high values and confident beliefs. Yet all current problems remain real. Economic contradictions, social imbalances, diminished values, uncertain beliefs. And the grand vision can blur. Chinese leaders and common people are thinking and debating. While many have ready answers and few have robust answers, this I know. The Chinese people will choose their own beliefs and values. Perhaps what China needs most is more time.